On the 13th of February 2017, two young girls, best friends, left their homes in the small town of Delphi, Indiana, to spend the day walking the trails and taking photos. Their names were Libby German, just 14 years old, and Abigail Abby Williams, only 13. It was a school holiday, and the girls decided to take advantage of the free time. They were dropped off near the Monon High Bridge, an abandoned railway bridge that towered 60 feet above a shallow creek. This old bridge was a popular spot for local kids to explore, but it was also dangerous, narrow, weathered, and without handrails. That afternoon was cold, and the air felt heavy, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Libby even posted a photo of Abby walking across the bridge to her Snapchat at around 2:07 p.m. The image showed Abby balancing carefully on the worn wooden planks with her hands in her pockets. She looked happy, completely unaware of the danger about to come. But by 3:15 p.m., when Libby's father came to pick them up, the girls were nowhere to be found. Calls to their phones went unanswered. The families thought maybe they were still out walking, but as the hours ticked by, worry turned into panic. By 5:30 p.m., police were notified and search teams began combing the area with flashlights in the freezing darkness. The following day, the 14th of February, Valentine's Day, the search ended in tragedy. The bodies of Abby and Libby were discovered less than half a mile from the bridge, down near Deer Creek, in a wooded area off the trail. Their families were devastated, their communities shocked. But this case was about to get even darker, because on Libby's phone, police found something extraordinary. Moments before their deaths, Libby had the presence of mind to hit record. She captured a brief, grainy video of a man walking towards them on the bridge. He wore jeans, a dark blue jacket, and a cap pulled down over his face. His hands were in his pockets as he walked with a casual but deliberate stride. And then, his voice, just 3 chilling words. "Guys, down the hill." Those words would echo across the entire country. Police believed Libby had recorded her own killer. But who was he? Investigators released the still image of the man, dubbed Bridge Guy, along with the short audio clip. It was all the evidence they had at the time, and they hoped someone would recognize him. The response was overwhelming. Tip lines were flooded with more than 11,000 leads, and online communities sprang up overnight, with people analyzing every pixel of the blurry photo and every tone of the voice clip. But as weeks turned to months, there were no arrests. Police released 2 composite sketches, one of an older man with a goatee, and later, a younger-looking man with curly hair. The public grew frustrated, and theories spread like wildfire. Some accused innocent people online, and armchair detectives fought each other on social media. Through it all, the families of Abby and Libby begged for patience and prayed for justice. The investigation dragged on for 5 long years. Detectives searched homes, interviewed hundreds of potential suspects, and chased down rumors. Still, nothing stuck. Behind the scenes, investigators were quietly reviewing evidence again and again. One key clue was an unspent .40 caliber bullet found near the girls' bodies. It appeared to have been cycled through a gun, and they hoped one day they could match it to a weapon. In 2022, a breakthrough finally came, but it was almost by accident. A tip about a man named Richard Allen, a 50-year-old CVS pharmacy technician who lived in Delphi, had been overlooked years earlier because of a paperwork error. Allen had told police he'd been on the trail the same day the girls disappeared, but nothing came of it at the time. Now, investigators took a closer look. Alan matched the description from the sketches, and when they searched his home, they found a Sig Sauer pistol. Ballistics testing confirmed that the unspent bullet from the crime scene had been cycled through Alan's gun. And that wasn't all. While being held in jail, Alan made multiple confessions, some on recorded phone calls, others to his wife and mother, and even to a prison psychologist. At one point, he wrote letters admitting guilt. On October 28, 2022, Richard Allen was arrested and charged with the murders of Abby and Libby. The community that had lived in fear for half a decade finally felt a sense of relief. The trial began in October 2024. Allen's defense attorneys claimed his confessions were unreliable, arguing he was suffering from depression and psychosis from being kept in solitary confinement. They even floated strange theories about ritual sacrifices and secret groups, trying to cast doubt on the state's case. But the evidence was overwhelming: the ballistics match, his presence on the bridge, and his own words. On November 11, 2024, the jury found Richard Allen guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to 130 years in prison, 65 years for each life he took. Even with a conviction, the Delphi murders continue to haunt people. Libby's bravery in recording her killer gave police the most crucial evidence, but it also showed how close they were to escaping. Her phone preserved the man's face and voice forever. In April 2025, the court released Allen's full interrogation videos and prison phone calls. The public finally saw and heard his admissions, and they learned just how much pain this man had caused. But for the families of Abby and Libby, no sentence could ever truly bring peace. 2 young lives were stolen in the blink of an eye. A small town was forever changed, and 3 simple words, "Guys, down the hill," will echo for years to come as a reminder of the danger that lurks in unexpected places. If you've watched this far, what do you think? Do you believe justice was fully served in the Delphi case, or do you think there are still unanswered questions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and never forget Abby and Libby.